Welcome to iHollywood TV's special Thanksgiving show. Coming up today, we are sharing with you the best tips and tricks to prepare the perfect Thanksgiving feast with your family and friends this season. All of our special guests welcome you to our holiday celebration, and it all starts right now. Hey, it's Noah. Welcome to iHollywood TV. Welcome to our special Thanksgiving episode right here on our YouTube channel. I hope you would join me for the half hour as we have a great lineup of guests. Be sure to subscribe if you have not already, as we have amazing content coming your way on the iHollywood TV YouTube channel. But let's go ahead and jump right into our first guest. She's a best-selling author and social media chef influencer, Shireen Paves. You know her from Cooking with Shireen. She's here to share tips for holiday cooking and entertaining, including delicious ways to use the carton of eggs that's already in your refrigerator. That's right. Good morning. Welcome, Shireen. Nice to have you on our Thanksgiving show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Now, first off, Shireen, what are your must-have ingredients for the holiday season? Because Thanksgiving is a brewing. It's right around the corner.
You have to have your eggs. They're going to set you up for success when you are baking during the holidays, also for your stuffing. So we think about all the different things that we need eggs for. I use a lot of butter. Especially during Thanksgiving, I always say to my family, don't ask me how much butter is in this because I use a lot. And my homemade pumpkin puree, which is super easy to make. And then my jar canned tomatoes. So where I'm from in New Jersey, tomatoes are just absolutely delicious. I pick them at their prime and I jar them. I'm an Italian girl, so I make a lot of pasta during the holidays. So they're my staples.
I'm looking at the kitchen counter and everything looks so beautiful. It looks so nice. But Shireen, tell us one of your favorite recipes that viewers can actually test out at home this Thanksgiving.
Yes, absolutely. So my pumpkin pecan cheesecake. So I have it here all decorated beautifully for you. So again, I use homemade pumpkin puree. It's super easy. This is a foolproof, easy cheesecake. So no cracked cheesecake, right? You want to show up looking like a rock star when you bring this to your family dinner. No crack, it's velvety, it's creamy. That's because of the egg. We rely on that invaluable, beautiful egg to set us up for success. And then I top it with some toasted pecans, and some caramel, and then you hit it with some sea salt. So it just brings everything to life. It's velvety, it's creamy. You can do it 2 days ahead, keep it in your refrigerator. And I show you how to do that on my social media. I have a video at Cooking with Shireen. It will set you up for success with that beautiful creamy texture.
What a delicious cheesecake. I mean, you have such great ideas. Is there any other ideas that you want to share with our audience, Shireen, as far as celebrating Thanksgiving this holiday?
Oh, yes. Well, your stuffing, you're going to need eggs for your stuffing. Again, it sets. It creates this custardy texture. So not only is it a binder, but it creates, because think about stuffing, right? If you crack into the stuffing without the eggs, everything's just going to crumble and fall apart. But the eggs will set it. Right. And it'll create that nice little custard, and it gives it moisture, so it really will make nobody wants dry stuffing, right? So that's a great one for the holidays. And then when you wake up the next morning, if you want to have some oatmeal, so Thanksgiving's over, maybe everybody stole all your leftovers. Your 5-minute oatmeal, add eggs to your oatmeal, low heat. Fantastic. Halfway through cooking, scramble 1 to 2 eggs in there. It creates a beautiful texture, a nice custard texture. It's velvety. It's your one and done breakfast. You got your carbs, your protein. It's super delicious. You have to try that.
Now, Shireen, tell us where we should go for more information on all the great things that we have discussed this morning.
Yes, you can find this recipe at incredibleorg.com, and also follow me across all my social platforms, YouTube as well, at Cooking with Shireen, where I do the video. So you can get that visual in 60 seconds.
Coming up next, Chef Kum Hardaway is sharing the perfect Thanksgiving feasting for you and your family with Aldi. Welcome back. Well, holiday celebrations are starting to begin, and we've got the perfect super chef to help with Thanksgiving feasting plans. Joining us today is Kum Hardaway, who is teaming up with Aldi, to share shopping and saving secrets for creating special holiday meals this season. Welcome, Chef Kum. What a feast you have on the table. It looks so good and so delicious, but if I ate all that food, I would be sick. Oh my goodness, but it looks so good.
What do you mean? This is a serving for one. I am going to eat this by myself.
That's right, Chef. Now, first off, Chef Cossum, what can families look forward to this holiday season?
Okay, Noah, understanding the holidays can be a stressful time for families. That's why Aldi is focused on providing all of the Thanksgiving and holiday essentials so we as shoppers can enjoy celebrating with friends and family without worry of rising food costs. In fact, this holiday season, Aldi is reducing prices up to 50% on seasonal classics on top of everyday low prices.
Now, Chef, how will this impact the holiday menus this year?
So Aldi is always looking for ways to get customers the most for their dollar, and this Thanksgiving, they want to provide families with an opportunity to focus on what really matters, bringing more people together over the food they love. So Aldi is reducing prices on over 70 Thanksgiving essentials, including everything you see here.
Oh my goodness. And look, and I saw ice cream. I am a lover for ice cream on Thanksgiving. All the desserts right there. The pumpkin pie. Oh yes, I love that too. Now, Chef Cossum, do you have a special recipe for a holiday buffet or party?
I do. I'm going to walk you through a couple of them. So this harvest apple walnut stuffing is perfect. It incorporates a few surprising ingredients like sliced bacon, butternut squash, shelled walnuts, chef's cupboard cornbread stuffing mix. It's delicious. There's also this roasted acorn squash and Brussels sprouts, which is a family favorite and great for Friendsgiving and very easy to make. So you're just going to bake the acorn squash and Brussels sprouts until crisp. Then you're going to prepare a very simple citrus vinaigrette of orange zest, orange juice, honey, oil, and vinegar. Once those veggies are baked to crisp perfection, you toss it in that citrus vinaigrette with pomegranates and toasted walnuts. It is so good. But there's nothing more iconic and classic than a green bean casserole, and you have to have this recipe.
Yes.
You can get it on aldi.us.
Oh, you're making me so hungry, Chef. How dare you do it to me, you know? Now, well, Chef, after we have the big Thanksgiving feast, we all love to go and dig in for dessert. So how about a dessert that will be a big hit at your Thanksgiving party this year?
Okay, I'm a bit biased, but I love a classic apple pie. And if you agree with me, you have to have this in your Thanksgiving spread. But if you're trying to save some time, cut some corners, be sure to pick up an already made Bakehouse Creations refrigerated pie crust. There are also these white chocolate cranberry blondies. Very easy to make, a sweet treat that combines creamy white chocolate with tangy dried cranberries, all in a soft and buttery blondie. Each bite is pure dessert heaven.
Send some of that dessert through the camera right now, Chef. That's right. Yeah, do it. Yeah, all right. Yeah. No, Chef Cossum, do you have any other suggestions for the holiday season this year?
Yeah, whether visiting us in store or shopping online, you can find all of your favorite items. So pick up some brie, prosciutto, cornbread stuffing, fresh brown and served rolls, green beans, and of course, apple pie. So with these savings, Aldi anticipates hosts will be able to invite 3 additional guests to their Thanksgiving table for the same price as the average feast. So even your sister's new boyfriend gets an invite to Thanksgiving this year.
And Chef Cossum, where should we go for more information with Aldi?
Yeah, to learn more about everything we talked about today, including these delicious recipes and more holiday deals, visit aldi.us.
Fantastic. We'll have that website appearing below. Chef Kum Hardaway, thank you so much for the great conversation. You take care and have a great and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much, Noah. Same to you.
Coming up next, Dr. Michael Kupan discusses his new cookbook, The Power 5 Essential Foods for Optimum Health. Welcome back. Well, you know preventative internist Dr. Michael Kupan as the author of the best-selling What to Eat When. His new cookbook is The Power 5 Essential Foods for Optimum Health, which features the 5 essential foods for living longer: fruits and vegetables, beans, whole grains, seafood, and nuts and seeds. He joins us this morning on the show. Welcome, Dr. Kupan. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad that we could have you on the Thanksgiving show. So first off, Dr. Kupan, one of the keys to longevity can be found in the food that we eat. How do the 5 food groups you have identified work to promote longevity and better health for all of us?
Yeah. So I love food. I love eating it. I love cooking it. I love sharing it with other people I love. Right. But the thing that frustrates me as a preventive medicine doc is the message people get when they click on clickbait headlines that say, this food's going to kill you or eat less of this. Right. I wanted to write a
Mm-hmm.
book to empower everyone, to tell you that you need to eat more because we are not eating enough as a whole world of these power 5 foods, the ones you mentioned, the fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, whole grains, beans, and fish. And these foods have been shown in countless studies to be associated with lower risk of death from heart disease, lower risk of death from diabetes. They can help prevent cancer. When you look around the world at the people who live the longest, they eat mostly these foods. And so I wanted to, again, empower people, teach them how to actually cook these foods so they can live their longest, healthiest, and most delicious life.
Now, Dr. Kupan, a lot of viewers, they might be watching at home and would like to know how can they best incorporate the Power 5 foods that we listed at the beginning into their diets, and do they have to be the only foods that they eat? Because a lot of people, they want to eat healthy, but they just don't know where to start.
Sure. Let me tell you, when I wrote this book, my goal was not to write a healthy cookbook. My goal was to write a
Uh-huh.
cookbook that just happens to be healthy. And that's one of the tricks to eating the Power 5 foods. Don't think about them as health foods. Think about them as absolutely delicious foods. And that's what these recipes will do. They'll show you that. And even the pickiest of eaters will want to eat them every day. Now, you don't have to eat only the Power 5 foods. They're obviously the most delicious and most healthful foods. But I have a whole other section in the book about what I call the undeniables. That's the meat and that's the desserts. And in the holidays, you're going to eat those things, right? And that's okay. I don't want you to give them up. I want you to eat better versions. I used to work with a pastry chef. I love dessert, and I wanted to make sure that the desserts in this recipes in this book made you feel less guilty about eating dessert. I don't want you to give up cake or pie on the holidays. I want you to eat more of it because I want you to have more holidays, more time with your family. And so I show you how to cut out some of the saturated fat, how to incorporate whole grains, how to add more fruit and cut out the refined sugar in all of these desserts. And when it comes to meat, I show you how to get better versions of that too. Your goal should be to eat 4 out of the 5 Power 5 every day and 5 out of the 5 once a week. So your plate should be mostly filled with these things, but it's okay if it has some other things on it too.
Now, Dr. Kupan, as we're celebrating Thanksgiving, even though we have our Christmas stuff up, how dare we do that? Which I think everyone's
You're
decorating
decorating
early for the
earlier and
holiday
earlier
season.
each year.
I know. Oh my goodness, I'll be putting up the tree in August. No, I'm kidding. I really will not be doing that. But as we're celebrating Thanksgiving, what healthy recipes can viewers find in this delicious cookbook that they can make for their families coming over for Thanksgiving feasting?
Oh man, there's so many great recipes in this book that are perfect for Thanksgiving that'll give your Thanksgiving a little bit of a twist. Maybe, things you usually make, but change it up just a little bit to keep everyone interested. For example, there's a great recipe in this book for creamed corn. Now, that's something people usually take out of a can. It's easy to serve. My version
Right.
only, right? You wouldn't think a doctor would have a recipe for that, right? But my version just has corn, water, a little bit of shallots, olive oil, and you can add miso if you want for some extra umami. And when I teach you how to really extract all the flavor out of the corn so that you don't need to add sugar and you don't need to add cream and butter, but your family will have no idea. They'll think it's just as good as what you always make. Or I'll show you how to make turnips. My family usually passes on the turnips, but we always have them. But I will glaze them without any butter, without any sugar, in a Korean chili paste. They'll have some more extra flavor. They'll still have a great texture, and people will definitely be finishing them. Another thing, I don't know if you can see this. This is kohlrabi. Kohlrabi is a weird-looking vegetable. It looks kind of like an alien, but it's really cool. It's a cross between cabbage and broccoli in terms of flavor. I like to mash it. There's a recipe for mashed kohlrabi. It'll replace your potatoes, less starch, and more flavor. And unfortunately, the only bad thing about the recipe is you'll have no leftovers.
Well, Dr. Michael Kupan, it's been so nice to have you on the show. You guys, you got to go pick up a copy of the Power 5. It's now available in bookstores. Thank you so much, Dr. Kupan, for coming on the show. You and your family have a great and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You too.
Coming up next, we're taking you to Plymouth, Massachusetts as they prepare to celebrate Thanksgiving in the very place the holiday began 400 years ago. Now, you guys, Plymouth, Massachusetts prepares to celebrate Thanksgiving in the very place the holiday began 400 years ago. So joining us this morning is Richard Pickering. He's here to discuss this morning the story of Plymouth Thanksgiving, the political landscape in the early American colonial days, and fun facts. He joins us live right now. Good morning, Richard. Happy Thanksgiving.
Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving to you. I love Thanksgiving. I love the feasting. I love being with family. And I'm just thankful to be here each and every single day. Yes, that's right.
That's the truth. It's all about gratitude.
Absolutely. So, Richard, first off, why is Plymouth, Massachusetts, America's hometown? Talk to us more about that.
It's because the town gifted the nation two of our greatest traditions. I'm standing in front of Mayflower II, which is a full-scale reproduction of the ship that brought the Pilgrims in 1620. And to think that in November of 1620, they signed the Mayflower Compact aboard the ship, and that's the beginning of America's constitutional tradition. And just a 3 or 4 minute walk from where I'm standing was the site of the first Thanksgiving. So that this little community has gifted us with so many important aspects of our American identity.
And it's so beautiful there. We were looking at the B-roll, and it's just magnificent. So, Richard, why is Plymouth synonymous with Thanksgiving?
Pilgrims love to write about themselves, and there is so much documentation about their early years. There is a description of the 1621 harvest feast between the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag. It was lost for decades. It was rediscovered around 1839, 1840, and printed in a best-selling book. The editor put an asterisk next to the description and said this was the first Thanksgiving because it so resembled the New England Thanksgiving of the 1840s. And from that moment onward, Plymouth has been the emotional home of the holiday.
Yeah, interesting stuff right there, Richard. And there are a number of myths surrounding the historic event 402 years ago. Wow, that seems so long. So which myth do you have to bust the most this morning on our Thanksgiving show?
The list of myths that need to be busted is ever changing because one gets broken only to become a new one. And within recent years, it's been very fashionable to say there was no turkey at the first Thanksgiving. That's the current thing. Yeah, I hear you. And it cracks me up to think that the 4 men William Bradford sent out hunting for the feast, 4 men shooting for 4 hours. We're told they brought back enough wildfowl to feed the entire company for a week. So just imagine these pilgrims with their blunderbusses and muskets purposely avoiding the turkeys, which we're told were very easily taken. And it's just that turkey was there along with all of the other different kind of birds. It just wasn't the centerpiece as it would become after the 1700s. But that's the one that's really out there right now is there was no turkey at the first Thanksgiving.
Oh my goodness. No, every Thanksgiving here in America, turkeys all the time for Thanksgiving. Oh my goodness, turkey or ham. I love ham. I like them both, but I love my ham. I love my sweet old honey ham.
Well, I'm the child of a Cape Codder and a Virginian, so I hear you. You know, Daddy was the turkey and Mother was the ham.
That's right. That is how it is in my family. My father loves the turkey more, and my mom loves the ham. So does my grandma. She loves ham. I love ham too. Now, Richard, why is the first Thanksgiving at Plymouth considered the very first celebration of Thanksgiving in the country? That's interesting.
Because of that notation that Dr. Young made in the 1840s, it has just been recognized as the beginning of the holiday. But not only because of the annotation, I think it's because the power of the story, that you have two communities who have both suffered horrific death. The Wampanoag people lost 70% of their population in an epidemic. The Pilgrims lost half of their population the first winter. And so when they come together in the fall of 1621, they are fragile, They are reaching toward one another for stability, for mutual military strength, and for trade. And what amazes me is they could not speak to each other, yet they are together for 3 days, feasting, playing sports, offering military demonstrations. And it really is an example of what the holiday should be, that there is that place for the stranger. There's that curiosity about the other.
One fun fact to share this morning is many people, they think the town was named for Plymouth, England, the port where the Mayflower set sail for America, but it was named by Captain John Smith when he mapped New England's coast in 1614. Can you talk to us about that?
Well, he came through with a small flotilla of 3 ships because his interest had moved from Virginia to what was then Northern Virginia that he redubbed New England. So he mapped the coast, didn't give anything a name. Captain Smith took it back to London, and the map was given to Prince Charles, and the young prince put the names on everything, and he put Plymouth right here where we're standing. His other names didn't stick. He had given Cape Cod a very odd name, but Plymouth stuck. It had nothing to do with the port they sailed from. It was the young prince naming the place Plymouth. Its native name is Patuxet.
Ah, okay, gotcha. Now, Richard, I must just say, I love where you're at. Oh my goodness, it's just absolutely beautiful. Is it cold out there? Because you look so warm inside.
Well,
warm and fuzzy on the inside.
I'm wearing a New England barn coat to keep warm, and there's a wool suit coat on under this. It's in the 40s here, but it's absolutely beautiful. And to be able to visit with you in front of Mayflower too, which is one of the most famous destinations in America's hometown. That and looking forward to another tradition every Saturday. For the last 20 years, every Saturday before Thanksgiving, there's a spectacular parade here in Plymouth that kicks off a week of festivities honoring the veterans. The dining in Plymouth for Thanksgiving is absolutely superb. And I think you in particular would absolutely love being here for Thanksgiving at least once in your life and being part of that tradition since you esteem the holiday so much.
Oh, I would love to come out and visit and be there for Thanksgiving. And I just saw Santa in that B-roll. Santa Claus makes his way down the parade route, right?
Santa Claus is here, and actually Plymouth is a great Christmas town too, even though people associate us with the Pilgrims. The waterfront, Brewster Garden, is lit for the holidays starting December 1st, and there are events going on in the town throughout the December month. So the festivities are actually 2 months here.
Nice. Interesting stuff right here, Richard. Now, Richard, how will you be celebrating Thanksgiving coming up? Any fun plans?
I have been at Plymouth Patuxet Museums almost 40 years now. And for the last 13,
good for you.
Yeah, I have hosted our Story of Thanksgiving dinner, which means on Thanksgiving Day, I'm hosting 3 seatings of 350 people. And then we do it all again the next day for those people we couldn't accommodate on the holiday proper. But we serve 5,000 to 6,000 Thanksgiving dinners that week. So I'm serving as a host, and it's one of the most meaningful things that I do, to be with people from around the world who want at least one Thanksgiving in Plymouth. And I ask them to tell one another their stories when they're at the table. And to see strangers become friends is really astounding.
That's the best, right?
It is. You know, I say to that person, reach out to the stranger, find out why they're here, who was the first American in their family, and people do it, and it's very touching.
Oh my goodness, that has to be the best part of your job. Richard Pickering, it's been so nice to have you on our Thanksgiving show. Thank you so much for coming on the show. You take care. You have a great day and a happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Thank you. Come visit America's hometown sometime.
Yes, when I do, I will come and find you,
Good.
Richard. You take care now. Have a good one.
Bye.
Welcome back. Well, thank you all so much for watching our iHollywood TV Thanksgiving special. I hope you and your family have a very happy Thanksgiving. I hope you learned a lot with all the tips that we had from our cooks on our show today. And enjoy your feasting, and we'll see you back here next time. Bye-bye.